Hello, hello. Let us continue with the historic Marseille. This is a Joseph Frautier, 1762. So we got early. This is used right now, but this box is a tuck box, which I found extremely disappointing because his other boxes are just so nice. I don't know. This is technically the latest one from his collection of restorations. This has heavy UV, UV finishing on it. I mean, it's glossy, it's raised, nice. I mean, even the text up here is very, and the back, you can see it almost feels like a varnish on there. Nice, but I want the old box back. Even the box says outside of the UV finish, there's a rubbery texture to it. And this is 2022. I believe he is working on another one. He's not putting them out as quickly as he was, but that's okay because all of the restorations are absolutely lovely. And, he can take his time and give us some excellent ones. But for such a nice historic restoration, a tuck box is an insult to the beauty of the Marseille. So this was 1,500 copies. This is number 144 or 1,500. And let's read. Joseph Frautier, 1717, maybe give or take 1790. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, there's 3 cards. This is different. 3 cards. We got one in French, one in Italian, and one in English. So technically 78, 78, and then we got 79, 80, 81 cards total. Joseph Frautier engraved his deck in Marseille at the age of 45 following an apprenticeship begun in 1745 in Bordeaux as garçon courtier, cardmaker boy. Until very recently, only 2 incomplete copies of this deck were known, one preserved in the Musée des Vieux Marseille, the Museum of Old Marseille, and the other in Bibliothèque Nationale de France in Paris. I'd love to go there. Recently, Thierry Depoilly, a French historian specialized in playing cards, informed us of the existence of a 3rd original copy, to this day the only complete one known in the world. This copy, in excellent condition, belongs to Vincenzo Capuano, Italian professor of history of toys. It is kept at the Museo del Giocattolo in Naples, which he founded. Thanks to the mediation of Wilfred Houdin, author of the Tarot of Marseille Millennium Edition, with Alfredo Mazzara, Italian tarologer and filmmaker, the rights have been granted to produce the present edition, thus offering the public for the first time this faithful reprint of one of the rare authentic Marseille tarot decks. Tarot deck made and printed in Marseille, France. So this one is not People's Republic of China. This is pure Marseille. You gotta appreciate that. The card stock feels different than his other decks. It's a little looser. Notice there's a slight rounding on the edges. Simple starburst. I call it like starry sky background. Let's look at this truly Marseille tarot. Oh, I'm gonna put Le Mat. This is the order in which they came, but now I'm adjusting it. So let us look at the quirks. So the scan is quite something for such an old deck. Colors are very bold. The lines very crisp and clean. We can see if that maintains. We have a bell off the bib. Love the face, the little cat. Yeah, the colors are just wow. Almost like they're just delicately put there. We don't want to mess it up. This beautiful image. The Beteleux. Oh, you can feel it. These cards are soft. There's a softness to these cards, which definitely makes them stand out from the other Rado. de Betelgeuse. He has a little thing in his hand. It's cut off there. Three-legged table. Face is lovely. Hair, very nice and fine. Colors bold. Oh, they feel so soft in your hands. Really nice. I mean, it doesn't make up for the lack of a nice box. Or even a card wrapping, which I guess if there isn't one that exists for this deck, you wouldn't put one, but La Papessa. I mean, the faces actually show some expression. Looks like she's gazing off in the distance, almost in like she's thinking or reflecting. La Papessa. Oof. Okay, her eyes she's got a black eye. Emperor wasn't nice to her. Holding the scepter, we got the weird part of that throne there. Oh yeah, I love the blacks in this are really black and bold. It's there. Her hand over here is kind of curving onto this. It's colored and strange, but that's there. Nice crown. The Emperor. Bold eagle. Look at those intentional red dots there. Curlicues of the throne, but look, his hair is gray. He's an older, wise crown. I was reflecting on the helmet of the Emperor and why it is shaped so oddly. My first thought was it is like the glands of the penis, going back to the penis, and kind of fun, and people weren't. The average person was usually quite crude in the way they thought, and a lot of times sexual things were thought of as very silly and funny, especially when brought into the public from behind closed doors during this time. So I thought the weird shape of the hat is glands-like, just the way it swoops down. But thinking again, I don't know. I love the green. Look at the different green grass there. That really pops. The teeth on top of the helmet, I guess almost like aggression. But he's a wise old man. And he's holding his belt, of course, crossing his legs. I think crossing those legs also, he's so sure-footed. He doesn't have to be standing with both feet on the ground. He's sure of his stature, but he's also leaning on his throne there. He's leaning almost like it's propping him up. Maybe he needs, it's not too long before, at some point he'll have to, he may step down or die. But look how he's holding that scepter perfectly straight, so he's still leading with authority. Le Pape, we have the two hands here, and we have that sort of swoop in the middle, which always is almost like a sleight of hand, like the Betelgeuse. The two columns, papal crown. Even he has the teeth, the zigzag teeth on there. The pluses, the crosses on on his gloves. Lovely. This is a very, very expressive, and really, this card, I think, says what this deck does to Marseille Tarot. Look at the details of the wings, the faces. She looks worried that she's giving up her son. She's quite happy. He's like, well, he doesn't seem like he's overjoyed. Hand to his heart, he's holding his belt, and he's grabbing towards her genitals. The mother shoulder, which would be, like almost like she's passing off her child. Cupid, or the cherub's arrow, is pointing directly at his hand, not the heart. What could you say about that? You know, usually men are more amorous than thinking about the long term. Women are more goal focused in relationships. Like, where will this end up? How many children will you give me? Um, looks like I don't know if that's JF, but it says something. Maybe it's IF. Look at the smiling faces, the pauldrons on there. The beautiful shading of the canopy, the choyor, the horses. Beautiful face there. And that is the one on the front. A cross-eyed justice. What could we say about a cross-eyed justice? When you're cross-eyed, well, you can't quite see straight, and you're definitely not seeing well, but the scales aren't tipped. The sword is beautiful silver. I like the pinks on this card. I think whoever inked this, they took special care with the colors. And then we get mascara, eyeliner, or met, and then of course we get smudge colors. So we go from some nice clean ones to a little bit of issue here. Dark blue, night. He's got the lantern, the staff. Rue de Fortune, a little bit of heavy on the blacks. Nothing too crazy. We get the one crank there, the tail, the crown. Ooh, beautiful force card. We get the zigzag of the teeth, which is usually, well, I guess it's on the papes. Usually reserved for men, though, that zigzag pattern. Look at the scary lion. It looks absolutely terrifying. And you can see there's two takes. She's either pushing the mouth closed or pulling it open. This one really looks like she's pulling the teeth open. And look at how the teeth are curved inward. That is a vicious beast. Eyes open. I love the fur of it. And it's just melting into her legs. Gorgeous. We have a hanged man. Blue. He looks, you know, his face looks like it's actually swollen from being hung upside down, and it's flushed. Amazing. What an amazing detail. The hair curled, falling. Beautiful depictions of hair in this deck. La Mort. So we have flesh, not putrefied, but freshly chopped off heads there. We have a hand reaching up, again, freshly chopped. Blood on the sickle, blood on his little loincloth, and almost like his eyes are smiling. He has a smiling eyes going on there. Let's see, there's a hand, a foot, two hands, a couple bones, yeah, and there's no title. La Mort 113. Temperance. Beautiful wings, beautiful face, hair, absolutely gorgeous. A cinquefoil. Looks like a cinquefoil, not quatrefoil. Cinquefoil in her hair. The urns, or the ewers, she is pouring one to the other. Ooh, look at the evil face on the diable. And the imps, the pleasant looking imps, they're just there. Hands behind the back, so their hands are tied. You can give them stuff to do, but they can't do it. Their hands are tied. Hermaphroditic, devil, genitals, the belt. It's a belt of genitals, the hair, the breasts, the hat of horns, the torch of knowledge, the hand up, clawed, just like the feet. I also was reflecting on this card, and I was reflecting on male and female in the Major Arcana, and it's something I want to think about later. I believe these are two men falling out of a tower. Why two men? Double masculine energy card. I love the Wonder Bread circle drops of color popping out of this. It is beautiful. The tower is lovely. Yeah, and it's flesh colored tower. Bit of a phallus to me. Swords, phallus, masculine energy. So that's my my thoughts on that. Beautiful étoile. Funny little bird. Looks like it didn't come through all the way. Beautiful stars. We get 8. Oh, 7. No, 8, yeah. It's interesting that the blue, it's red instead of blue behind that main star. And it looks like another little bird here, or maybe grass. I think it's grass there, but it almost looks like a bird. Swollen belly, swollen breasts. Why the water is yellow, I don't know. It's green there. This is one of the few major arcana that there is no human depicted. We have a face, but that's a face in a celestial body. We have 3 animals depicted, 2 mammals and a crustacean. The crayfish, arms out. It is a 8-legged creature, and we have 4-legged creatures up there. So when you add 4, you get 8. So almost like a combination of the two. Just thoughts. Beautiful towers there. Drops. No path leading off to the distance, but beautiful moon card. We get 2 males, double masculine. Even though they could be 1 male, 1 female, sometimes it is depicted as that, or it's just 1 male. I get the vibe this is double masculine. And then we get the face of the sun. And we get the wall, Romulus, Remus, Gemini, all that good stuff. Beautiful sun though. Look at the rays, and the drops of the sun coming down, and they are pointing downward, as opposed to, well, the moon drops are also doing that, almost dagger-like. The Judgment. Here we have Michael blowing his trumpet, or an angel with parrot wings, which was a phase in the Renaissance. They just decided, let's give angels parrot wings because they're exotic. When parrots were introduced from exotic places, they thought, well, let's give our angels parrot wings. And we get 2 praying, woman, man, and then we don't know who that is. And they are, resurrected. We have 2 praying hands. We don't know what this rotten person is doing, though. They could be praying. They may be missing arms. We don't know. So the hand there, holding it steady. Le Mans. Here we have the bull does not have a halo, whereas the lion, the eagle, and the angel have halos. Look at the angel's face, and the world's face, with 2 batons, and the drapery there. And we get to the suits, of course. Let's see, we got baton, we got sword, épée, we get denier, coins, and we get coupe, the cup. Let's look at the cut of these. Really nice. You can see how thick these cards are. Baton, green, that's green blotchy. The one thing I should say, working with paint and working with inks, some colors are just runnier than others. That's just their nature in their makeup. When I use black in watercolor, it goes everywhere. It's almost like ink. But when I use like red, it kind of stays in place. It depends on the color, depends on the pigment. Some pigments just bleed. Some also will not cover 100%. They just are opaque in their nature, like half opaque. So you have to multiple layers. So understanding the ink, and it can be difficult to find that balance of just right with other colors. So just remarking on the quality of the ink and the colors, it can really make a difference in how they bleed. So I am completely sympathetic to bleed in these. Very bold. Baton, bold, curly, beautiful, beautiful flower there. Nice. Very nice. Beautiful blacks, nice solid blacks too. We get solid blacks, then we get that sort of hazy black, as the black tends to run out quicker than a lot of the other colors. 7, 8, 9. There we go. We're getting that where it's either drying or it's running. Henry Ford with his the Model Ts, or they only came in one color, black. Why? Because black dried quickly. Just the nature of it. White, completely different drying schedule, but black, you could predict it, but it was very quick. So in order to get them off the assembly line quickly and onto lots or wherever to buy them, why not do the quickest color possible? Black. 10. We got Valet de Baton. Oh, these I can already tell these court cards are going to be lovely. Look at the beautiful, delicate hair. This looks like a youth. This looks like a true valet. Beautiful garment, lovely. The drapery in this is wonderful. But we get the disjointed arms, like the weird, like almost his arm has been dislocated. The nature of the card itself. Oh my God. That is an incredibly feminine looking face. Beautiful curls. Look at the swirls on the garment, the horse, the club. Eyes are staring at that baton with almost a loving gaze. That is gorgeous. Queen, she looks like she's a little worried. Look at her delicate hands. Look at her little pinky, and look at the forefinger there. They're just, just there. Beautiful hair on the shoulders, the crown. King looks younger than I would think. Fuller face, little curls, little card-playing curls. He's got the jagged teeth on his garment. She does not. Hand on his hilt. Curled fingers on his baton. Zigzagging there too. I love the black and white emerging there. It's kind of cool. Here we have Ippy, the sword, olive branch, and palm, of course. Why they didn't finish coloring that, I do not know. And of course, with swords, you get the curved scimitar type. This one's kind of rough looking. Oh, these lines here are from the paper having some folds that are wrinkles. So that's just an artifact of wrinkled paper, usually. Beautiful olive branches in the 3, 4. There's that 5. Look at the circles there appearing. 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, there's that drawing. Curve, beautiful. 9. 10. Oh, we get lots of those little things there. Valet, pinkish hair, very unusual. Does look like a youth. scabbard, sword, looking sort of downward. Very kind of peaceful though. The fancy part of the rearing up cavalier, or chevalier. Face looking forward. That's an odd helmet. It is reminiscent of the emperor with the epaulettes or the pauldrons. The face. Queen, oof. She looks like she is weary, very weary. Look at the wrinkles in the eyes. You get like extra wrinkles. The lips. Holding her stomach, or almost, I like to think, reaching out towards this bloody sword. The sword that is there. Just reaching out to it. And the ultra fancy king, where he is, looks like he's got a scabbard, but a dagger is in that, as well as the sword. He's looking over and down a little bit, just like the queen. Pauldrons, faces, swirl on his. Then we get another artifact, that sort of circle artifact. There. There's a swirliness. Denier, coins, pentacles, quatrefoil there with the jagged lines. And it says Joseph, there's the I, so the J is like an I, and that would have been why the chariot has the IF on the front of it. Frautier, 1762, very nice. 3, there's a beautiful little there. Oh, this is empty. Maybe it would be initials would be put there. There's no fleur-de-lis there at all. So usually there's 3, so no fleur-de-lis. 5, nice. 6 beautiful blacks. We're getting that sort of broken there. If I were to guess, I would think it's dried ink that's stuck there. Just guessing. 8, 9, 10. Ooh, yuck. That's ugly. Valet de Denier, 2. And the name is on the side. Grabbing the belt. Blonde hair. The floating coin. Like going forward, not quite attaining it. And he has a baton. Also bad hair. Looks thin. Here's the high forehead queen of the small head. This actually looks really nice. She's concentrating on that. Look at her fingers. She's got the scepter, flowing gowns. Very nice. Here is the Roi de Denier. Denier. It says Denier. Denier. There's an E there, D-E-N-I-E-R. Here it just says D-E-N-I-R. Denier. I love how they... spelling just, throw it out the window. He's in his chair. Lines. Vertical lines. Interesting. See? There. There. Almost like that's the... I'm not sure what that's supposed to be because it doesn't match with the two-legged throne. Zigzags in the hat, the teeth. And the last suit is the coupe. Red and green. We get this sort of Christmas-looking reliquary. Those do look like rivers, 3 rivers. And those look like minarets, like 6 minarets almost. That's in like a walled city. A geometric base. We have 2, and there's the IF or the JF. There's a little, looks like a little star there. And chickens with, it's a rooster and a hen with their chicks. We have the dolphins there. Beautiful. This is a beautiful card. I love the yellow. It's very bold. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, those cups look great. Really nice cups. Filled with wine, supposedly. Oh, there's no number on this one. 7. It comes back 8. It's getting fuzzy up there. 9. And a true Marseille 10 of cups, quatrefoil, capping the opening facing the left with the round middle and then the geometric base of the cups. Very nice. Here's the valet. Look at the flowers in the hair. And then sort of that scarf is like almost like flying in the air, holding the cap. Tilted head. This is, notice the ball in the middle. So this is one of the nicer cups, vessels. It looks like it's filled to the absolute brim too, which is very, very interesting detail. Filled to the brim. This one too is filled to the brim with the rectangles. Nice hair. Nice horse. Queen with canopy, covered vessel. This very interesting scepter of like a very point icicle sword type. Very beautiful. Nice. King, Roi de Coupe. His cup is typical. He's got the zigzags in his crown, those teeth holding his belt. Of course, the floor is an absolute weird, strange thing going on. There's no... Very odd. It's very broken. Looking towards the future. Grabbing the cup by the base, which for me it could be top heavy. Plus he's balancing it on his knee. And he's balancing it on like either his cape or a piece of fabric almost. And his little feet. His legs look a little too fat to cross. Yeah. There we go. That's the Joseph Frautier true Marseille Tarot. Very nice. What a great deck. This is a lovely deck. When I got this, I was extremely disappointed in the box, impressed by the deck. So it's like, stay for the imagery. Try not to think too much about the box. See, when you get these tuck boxes, you get this, you're like, now it's, you know, the card stock is, so when you put it in, the best way to deal with this type of issue, take a few cards and drop them in, and that way you don't have to worry about that, the lip of the, you just got to worry about getting the cards in there. Just the front, and there they go down. But then, with the tuck, you got to worry about messing the top of the cards up. You got to like kind of pucker it and pop it in so you don't hurt the cards, which is, you know, tuck box is hell. Look at all these pieces of paper where it's been cut. I don't mind. But there we go. That's a Tarot Joseph Frautier. Lovely Marseille Tarot. Thanks for watching.